morning, everyone. Welcome to Buena Vista. Should be a beautiful day, lots of events going on. Hopefully we can get it in before the rainstorm begins. But first off, I'd like to introduce our 6th District Congressman, the Honorable Mr. Bob Goodlatte.
Good morning, Buena Vista! Mary Ellen and I are delighted to be back with you on this Labor Day to celebrate the great working families of Buena Vista and Rockbridge County and Lexington and all across Virginia and America. It's a pleasure to be here with Senator Creed Deeds and his Republican opponent, T.J. Aldis, Delegate Ben Klein, who has the great fortune, in recognition of his great work in the General Assembly, of being unopposed for re-election, and with all of these other candidates for office both this year and next year. This is the traditional kickoff of the political season in Virginia. You wouldn't always know it by how long some of these campaigns go on and on and on, but to me, to run from Labor Day to November, that's the time when you really know that you have a chance that the voters are paying attention to what you're talking about. And while I'm not up for re-election this year, I'm always delighted to be here. Buena Vista has been great to my family. Both Mary Ellen and I have been employed in this city. It helped us get through law school at Washington and Lee University, and we'll do anything we can to support this community and the great people of it. In Washington, we're facing great challenges. And on Labor Day, we shouldn't have an unemployment rate that's above 9%. What we need to do to create jobs is for government to stop over-regulating sector after sector of our economy so that people will make investments, expand their businesses, create jobs, compete with people around the world, and that's what we're going to be pushing for all this fall in Washington, D.C. The other thing we can do is to have government live within its means. That's what the Virginia government does. The federal government ought to be able to do the same thing. And that's why on the first day of each of the last several Congresses, I've introduced House Joint Resolution number 1, a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. I was honored this past weekend, Saturday as a matter of fact, to give the Republican National Radio Address and to talk about just that. How government can improve our economy by becoming more efficient, living within its means, reforming its programs so that they're available to people in the future, and not have the ironic situation where we kick trillion-dollar debts at our children and grandchildren, now totaling over $15 trillion, and not have those very programs that money was borrowed today to pay for today available to them in the future when they need it. That is wrong. It's not just an economic issue, it's a moral issue. The best way to get it under control is for people to make the tough decisions in Washington, and as we make those, we should also be pushing for the ultimate tough decision enforcer, and that is the requirement that the government balance its budget each and every year except in times of national emergency. So we've now been promised a vote. In fact, it's the law. The House and the Senate voted in July to require the Congress, both the House and the Senate, to vote on a balanced budget amendment. It's not easy. It takes a 2/3 majority in both the House and the Senate. We're getting close in the House. We may have a little further to go in the Senate, but if the American people who support this by 75% and 80% will speak up to their senators and their House members and let them know that they expect Congress and the President to live within their means, just like families and businesses large and small, and local governments like the city of Buena Vista, and state governments like Virginia. They all have to make it work. The federal government has to make it work and live within its means too. That's what we're going to push for. If we don't get it done this year, we're going to keep this fight up as long as we have the support of the American people to do it. Thank you for letting me join you. Have a wonderful Labor Day. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Congressman Goodlatte.